So, what is your excuse? Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. You know, we all have excuses for so many things, don't we? I have a long list of them. You know, I have an excuse why I don't quite get started with things, why I don't finish things. I have excuses why I'm too tired or I'm too hungry or whatever it might be. But you know, we have excuses for everything in life. I have an excuse for, well, sometimes when God calls me to do something and I don't want to do it, or I don't feel like doing it, or I don't have time to do it, or I feel like there's some reasons why I'm disqualified. I'll talk about that mostly today. You know, many times we list them. Lord, I would do this, but I'm too stressed in my job right now. I'm too hurt by the past. I'm too hooked on pornography. I'm too much in debt. I'm fighting too many addictions. I'm a victim of abuse. I don't have enough opportunity. Can't afford it. Did I mention yours? You know, we all have them, don't we? We all have excuses why we can't get started, and what does it do? It keeps us from starting. You know, we've been talking a lot about passion, how important passion is, and you can be so passionate about something and yet talk yourself out of getting started. You know, I love it when Paul says you are running a good race. Who cut in on you? He said, why did you stop? Why are you sitting here? You were doing a good job. Now, I think at that point it's interesting because when Paul says, who cut in on you, I can imagine myself anyway, stepping up and saying, well, you know, I was running this race, but, you know, I just got uncomfortable and, you know, my shoes started kind of feeling like they were a little too tight or, you know, this happened, that happened, and I can imagine coming up with all kinds of excuses. And Paul saying, well, I understand then. That's a good reason. And saying, why don't you just sit here for a while? Or Paul says, you were running a good race. Who cut in on you? You've made a mistake now. I want you to sit over here and think what you've done wrong for a couple days. And then we'll pray about letting you run the race again. He doesn't do either one. You know what Paul says? He says, you were running a good race. Get back in there and run. Simply, get back in there and run. You know, God has a difficult time steering an object that isn't moving. And many times we stop when He's not telling us to stop, and we don't get started when He's actually trying to get us moving. You see, most of the time, personally, I don't feel qualified. And when I look at how the world qualifies people, I realize that I really fall short at a lot of those qualifications. And many times when God asks me to do something, I think, Lord, are you serious? You know, there are so many people that would be so much better at this than I am. And yet I know He's called me. I know He's prompted me, and I know that I need to do it. And so, what are you waiting for? What is causing you to just sit there when God says, I want you to get back in the race, or I want you to begin the race? And all of those excuses, folks, don't work because Jesus died for every single one of them. And what does He say about you? He says, you are loved, you are forgiven, you are able. Once you have a vision from the Lord, once you know what He's asked you to do, go for it and don't let anything slow you down. God bless you. Have a great day.